Lighting as a one-man band can be difficult, but today I'm going to show you guys how we went from this setup to this setup all by myself. So especially when shooting alone, it's really important to understand your limitations and your restrictions of what is actually realistic. We can't do everything, and that's okay. We're just gonna kind of modify and work around that. So that's the approach that I'm gonna be taking when lighting this scene here, is just what can I do fast and still quality? When you're shooting as a one-man band, you're gonna hate going back and forth from the camera to the lights, making all the tweaks. I've spent way too many years doing that. You're gonna want a mobile monitor with transmission that you can run around, tweak all the lights with. So the one that I'm using is the Accsoon M7 Pro. It's a 7-inch monitor. It's got wireless transmission built in as well. I've got this built out as a director's setup. I'll leave the links down below, but it's got a cage attached so you can add on all the rigging. And then on top of that, I've got the handles and the V-mount plate from Condor Blue. This is what I'm gonna be using to monitor all the lights, adjust the placement, adjust the exposure once we get there. And you're gonna be seeing me use this all along the way. Additionally, on top of that, they've also got the Accsoon M7 that I've got as my onboard monitor. So I've got this one because I don't need transmission, and then I've got the transmitter right here. So I've got it coming from my Pixis to the transmission to the monitor, and then sending it outwards to here. So I've got a full ecosystem here with this Accsoon M7 setup, which is fantastic. It says it's advertised as 1000 nits brightness. I don't believe that. It feels brighter because of the glass is built. It's kind of like an anti-reflective, or think of it as like a polarized art photo glass. Something to cut out the reflections to be able to get your truer blacks, your truer colors, especially when in bright light. Before we get any further in this video, I talk about a lot of gear, I talk about a lot of things. I'm gonna link everything down below to be easy for you guys, and please don't forget to subscribe. So what we're looking at here is kind of our initial framing. It's gonna be our master or our establishing shot. That's typically what I'm gonna do when shooting any scene, is try to set up for the wide first. That allows you to figure out where all of your light sources are gonna come from, so that way when you move into the tight and beauty those light sources up, you know where they're coming and you know how not to break continuity. The M7 and M7 Pro also offer many composition tools like crosshairs, grids, frame guides, and more to get your framing exactly how you need. Asking me my ideas, I know that we've got our practical, that's gonna be our motivation for some of the sources, but since we're at night in the city playing guitar, maybe I might wanna bring in some urban sources from the outdoors. So to get this urban source from outside, what trusty light would we choose other than the brand new Aperture Storm 400X? And what I'm thinking for is like a 4000 Kelvin with a heavy green shift. And I've got this just coming in, raining onto the couch, and we're gonna go in and see exactly what that's doing. Down. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, growl all you want. So you can see that this vapor source coming from the outside is now hitting the edge of the guitar. It's gonna hit some of the hardware as well. It's hitting this back of my neck right here, and it's really edging the back of the couch as well. So it's starting to give, you know, some of the flavor like there's a light coming from the outside. So this is great and all, but it's not getting us to where we want. That is very dark. It falls to black. I don't really like it. I think I wanna add something out that window as well. I'm gonna add in a light out there as well, and then we'll kind of see where we're going from there. Okay, we're gonna drop down here. So I see this being somewhere right around here. Oh, he looks so cute. Look at him from right here. All right, so light source, small but mighty, which ironically I just got tattooed on me. If you know, you know. The 80C. Okay, striking. So I'm looking at this monitor, right? Oh yeah, that's starting to give some really cool light. So to get this urban vapor that I go for, I always go for this particular one. I go into gel mode, I go into gels, I select this. It's over in the 600 series, and I go for urban sodium. That's always the look I go for. For this, I'm gonna be going off of a daylight fixture rather than a tungsten fixture. It gives you the options as well. So I'm gonna go off a daylight fixture, urban sodium. So what I've got going on here is this urban vapor. I turn that on, I turn that off. You see the world that it's playing. It's starting to fill in. It's giving this really cool reflection on the strings, which is gonna be amazing. A little bit of hair glow as well. There's a few things that point out to me that I don't like. This is very obviously a stand. I'm gonna move it over here, probably till about right there, for a couple different reasons. One, to hide it, obviously. It's a little bit too backy for me. So by bringing it around, it's gonna hit a little bit more onto my face and start to give me the edge that I'm looking for. So another thing that I like to do is go into false color as well. So I've got false color. It is false color. I'm always used to small HD or black magic, so it's a little bit foreign to me, but it has the scale over there. And I'll turn off all of my lights, and you can see right now we are dark. There's nothing going on. And I'll start to strike on and just dial in the exposure. So I'm gonna work on that 80C first. That to me is rendering pretty bright. I don't want the exposure to be playing that hot on there, so I'm just gonna drag it down. And when running around, it's always helpful to dial in using your false color, because monitors can always vary on exposure. You guys know I like this darker exposure world. I think that's been obvious at this point, but being able to dial things in that way with false color is something that I'm always doing. Yeah, when we get this here, that's really playing on this guitar string right here up on the neck. It's not wrapping around as much as I wanted it to, but it's okay. And then you can see it's giving us a nice glow right here as well. So I think that this is a great basis. I think I want to make some moves here with art department, with set design. I think what I want to do, I don't like how the light's casting this shadow here through the practical. So what we're probably going to end up doing is bring this over here, because there's a dark space that's right here. This is going to be the look. This adds a lot of character to it. So we'll use that as motivation to then be able to key me from the inside. With these two lights coming from the outside, it's giving this really, really cool split of color contrast. But now I want to start actually lighting me because I'm dark. Come on. Son loves when I play music. Anytime I play music, he will come up and just lay right here, hang with me until he falls asleep. Every time. Watch. I bet you we can get him fall asleep in a second. Every time. Every time. With motivating off of this, I think I want to take something right here and push it in from this direction. Now, one thing that I've done many, many times, and I want to preface this before I actually get into my lighting, I always was like, bigger is better with my sources. I've come to find out that there's a very big difference between source size and source quality of light. And by that, I mean like the sheen and the quality of like, is it a hard bulb or whatever. I used to always do like a very large source. Like typically I would do like a 4x4 right here. And then I'd be annoyed because I'm not getting this really cool contrast on this dark side of my face because that light is wrapping in here. So I'm gonna go find a small source, something that's gonna give me a soft quality, but not a wide quality of light. Perfect. We've got this Infinimat set up. I'm gonna bring this down to maybe like a 2700 Kelvin. All right, so direction-wise, this feels all right. So with the Infinimat on and off, it's definitely doing a lot. It's playing very, very nicely. I think that it's a little warm, so we're gonna bring that up to 3200. Quality-wise and what it's doing, I don't hate it. I think we swap the lens. Let's do a lens swap because I think that this way over here that we're getting, I don't need any of that. I think the frame that I need ends right here. And the frame that I need ends kind of where, like right here. So let's just tighten up a little bit. We're on a 25 on anamorphic, which is significantly wide. So we're gonna make a quick move here, lens swap. Oh yeah, so that's just a little bit more of that upstage qualities that I'm looking for. Again, I A/B it. There's 5600, looks terrible. There's 65. 32 is really nice, I think. So we'll kind of lock that somewhere around here. I think that this feels very one-dimensional to me. You've just got one light coming from inside and it feels kind of boring. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna hang this fixture over frame and get more edgy to me and then get one more just to fill in subtle ambience. Definitely bright. I think we gotta split the difference as far as direction. It's not as rappy as we'd like, but it is playing a very large role. Being able to have this monitor to just run around with, honestly, has been very, very helpful. The M7 and the M7 Pro both come color calibrated, so your colors are gonna be dialed in. The out-of-the-box calibration covers 100% of Rec. 709 coverage. Exposure and color-wise, it feels very, very accurate, and it's honestly a very, very pleasing image to look at. I've also got a Small HD 702 Touch as the original 7-inch monitor that I used. That one has like a green shift, and I haven't calibrated that to where it needs to get to, so I would almost prefer to go towards this monitor. Exposure and color-wise, it feels very, very accurate, and it's honestly a very, very pleasing image to look at. A few other things, it's 4K resolution, and it does receive feed right now. I think there's gonna be a firmware update coming in the future to where it can actually transmit as well. Something I noticed when I was on the sailboat shoot the other day is the range of it. It's got, I think, up to 1200 feet line of sight range, which is incredibly far for transmission. Another thing to note, these Accsoons work off of an Android system, so they're a smart monitor. So on top of just being a monitor, you can actually work it as an Android. Now, I haven't played around with this too much, but I came up with an idea. I was watching Cam Mackey's video on this last week, and he had a great idea of where maybe you can download notes, or I'm gonna go one step further and say maybe there's an update in the future to where I can download Sidus Link onto this being a Wi-Fi enabled Android unit. If I'm a director and it's a director's monitor, I can go refer to my notes while I'm watching in an interview. Or if I'm a gaffer and I'm running around, I can actually control this via Sidus Link. So a few thoughts there of being an Android run system, something that has a lot of potential of being a smart monitor. And it's not going to be the last time that I'm pulling this out on set. Otherwise I wouldn't be talking to you guys about it. I think I'm very, very pleased with the Accsoon monitors. So a brief recap of the lights that we placed here. Directly behind me is the Aputure Storm 400X with our green fluorescent glow. And then off to your camera right, we have a Storm ADC with that urban vapor glow. And then the only light that we brought inside was this Aputure Infinimat, which is a 1x2, a small mat with a grid. And I put muslin over that. So very controlled, very minimal. And that's pretty much all that we've got. So we've got our lighting polished. The last thing we need is a little bit of haze. This hazer is like $100 or less. It is a workhorse for a lot of small room sets. I'm gonna link it down below. So we're gonna haze it up here in just a second and then roll a few takes on it. But that's gonna be a wrap for this video. So a few things to make note of. One, I think these are great on-set monitors, the M7 and the M7 Pro and the transmission system. I'm gonna link that all down below. Tips of shooting one band, don't overdo it. Think realistic and think what you can actually achieve by yourself. This is kind of how I did it. Nothing is massive. Yes, it takes a few extra steps, but nothing is too extreme of big 8x frames or anything like that. So keep it realistic, keep it attainable, and that's really all I got for you guys. So if you like this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.